We are going live.
Oh, my hair looks pretty today.
We're live.
Your hair looks pretty today, too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We're so pretty all the time, every day.
And if you're watching the video of this episode, you see a special guest star in the background.
Pay no attention to the men behind the chairs. Not curtains.
Normally we
just like Wizard of Oz reference.
Yeah. We normally... Kaylee.
Quiet.
We normally, you drink if you see the Kaylee pass by. Mm-hmm. Today you drink if you see the Nick pass by.
Yeah.
It's
See,
like
we
double
told
drink.
him to wear green so we could green screen him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have green shorts, so we green screen his torso out.
And it'll just be floating.
A floating Nick head and shorts. Bye, Nicholas. Okay, what?
Okay. So, not a ton to add to the video this week.
There's one CardCast that if you have not listened to before this episode starts,
have fun. That's going to be a good one to listen to.
But yeah, by what Nixie it's one of my future according to Grace, and it's already done. It's done before we recorded this. As far as I gather, I think it's important to listen before we watch the next episode.
Yes, because those of you who are rewatching this with me know that
exciting.
It's a good thing that Grace recorded this before
the next
she
episode.
watches Full Circle. So, by the way, the next episode is called Full Circle.
Full Circle of Life.
So that will be up on the Patreon on Monday, which is technically yesterday.
Yeah, but I guess if we're recording Prophecy and you're listening to Prophecy, you can listen to that after.
Yeah. As long as you listen for next week.
Yeah, the time I do. Yeah, I do mention though that we have not discussed this episode.
Yeah.
So anyway, take it for what you will.
Because I figured that Grace would have a few things to say about this episode.
It's 9 minutes of me rambling through traffic, and as I listen back to it, you can actually hear traffic.
That's actually one of my favorite parts
you
about
can hear like engines going, and then you hear one car like stops short, which actually almost hit me. And in the recording, I did pause for a minute because I'm like, this bitch. And then at another point, I actually get distracted by a puppy.
I like when you hear the turn signal.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that in fun ambient sound. So that's it. That's all we got for this week.
Yeah, I think so.
Done.
Alrighty, we are going to start. Wait, what episode is this?
131.
Okay. Welcome to episode 131 of There's No Place Like Terra, a Stargate First Watch Rewatch podcast. I am Nixie.
And I am Grace. I just felt like being different today. Today we're watching season 6, episode 21, Prophecy, a.k.a. The Tale of Two Cassandras.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Thank you.
I was thinking somewhere along the lines of Oedipus Jonas.
Oh,
except
Oedipus?
With less sleeping with his own mother.
Right. Not so much mom sleeps.
Or father murdering.
Yeah, father murders mom sleeper.
Yeah, less.
That's like
patricide.
It sounds a little like that Hamilton rap.
Yeah.
Father murderer, mother sleeper. I'm gonna credit that. That's my inner Lin-Manuel Miranda coming out.
We all have inner Lin-Manuel Mirandas.
Yes.
I wish.
I just want to keep a Lin-Manuel Miranda, like a little pocket-sized one.
Yeah, like there's a little in Star Wars, and you have the little tiny holograms.
Yeah, and like just so I can fit him in my wallet, and then when I need him, I'm like, help me, Lin-Manuel, you're my only hope.
He just pops in and goes, "You're awesome.
You're awesome." Or like his morning tweets where it's like eyes open, hearts full.
Exactly.
Get to it.
Well, yeah, this just a little pocket Lin that gives you happy vibes.
Yeah, and then he does like a little dance.
He could market that.
Yeah.
And just send it out to everyone.
I wanted to do a silly dance.
The world would be happier.
Like a little silly
arm
flail.
I almost see him doing the gopher from Caddyshack.
Yeah, I'd be very okay with that. Just
sitting there and just
or it's like, or even if it's something very like the Charleston-y, like arms are flaily, something flaily.
That works.
And goofy. Like a little marionette. Dance for me. Dance for me.
Dance, Lynn, dance.
Yeah. That's the name of my new song.
Alrighty, so this first aired on February 19th, 2003. It was written by Joan Paul, directed by Will Waring. And let's just get right out of the bat. Prophecy. Let's talk about Oedipus.
Let us go to the place.
And I think the most well-known self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
At least sort of historically.
Well, and isn't even the whole the hero's journey isn't a lot of like Oedipus is one of the great examples of that.
Yeah.
Like I make my thing happen.
Exactly. So he's the one, if you don't follow or somehow don't know, he like his dad got a prophecy going, hey, son's gonna kill him, and then so he sent his son off and he came back and he didn't know who his dad was, so he killed the king, married his mom. Prophecy fulfilled.
The end.
That's literally a highly complex story in one
That's
sentence.
like Greek myths in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there's two more that I think that are really, really well known that more people can relate to.
Okay.
In popular culture, two of the biggest franchises in history have at the core self-fulfilling prophecies.
Okay.
You
Is it
have
Star Wars?
One of them is Star Wars. Anakin turning Sith, desperate for a way to save Padme, only to be the cause of her death because he went Sith.
You dumb fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Anakin, just don't be a whiny bitch.
Just
basically.
don't-a-kin.
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 You can't, Anakin. You can't-a-kin.
And begin again.
Turn around. Sorry. And the other one is Voldemort's. He shall who not be named.
Snap!
Yeah. He was told of a child that would be born that would be a threat to his power and of his life, and so he tries to kill the kid as he's a baby so that he doesn't grow up to kill him.
Yeah.
And because he went to try to kill the baby as a child,
Then the baby
gave
kills him.
him the power in order to kill him
The
later.
power of Graceful.
And yes.
And also of Highlander,
Harry
because there can be only one.
Harry Voldemort gave Harry the power of Grayskull.
Incidentally, I want to share a
the
thing.
power of Skarskull.
Where his scar is so deep it goes into the skull.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Voldemort, this is my new theory. Voldemort gave Harry the power of Skarskull.
Yep, that's appropriate.
You have to pause before you're able to say it correctly.
Just think about it and then push it out.
And absorb it.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but Nixie and I, along with friend Amanda, are doing a reread of Harry Potter for the summer, which some of us have fallen behind on.
You're more ahead than I am.
Okay, but by like 20 pages. Some of us are on book 5, and some other of us, like friend Amanda, we're talking to you,
are like
have
book
finished
7.
the series.
Oh, did she finish the series?
She finished the series as of 2 nights ago. But anyway, I was talking to another friend of mine about this, and she mentioned a podcast that I'm really enjoying called Binge Mode.
Yeah.
And they are doing a binge mode.
The eye is the lightning bolt in Harry Potter, so I'm assuming it's about Harry Potter?
It is. So I guess they've done binge modes on other things.
Okay.
So they do binge modes on other ones. This one specifically is presented by Universal.
Okay.
Orlando, which makes sense.
Wow.
And it's all Harry Potter. And so I'm only on the first episode, which they do chapters 1 through 5 of the book. But they're doing these great little like deep reads.
Oh, cool.
So if you, like us, are also rereading Harry Potter or reading it for the first time, welcome.
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 To the first reread of Harry Potter.
I like it. You know, it's been long enough that it feels like a first read where I'm like, how does this happen?
I just read it all entirely like a year and a half ago, I think. So
yeah, no, I haven't read it since they came out, which is what, at least 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle of book 5, and I'm like, what does happen with Umbridge? How do we end up getting rid of her?
Yeah, I literally I'm not even a chapter into book 5.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yowza.
So, but yeah.
Welcome to the Harry Potter podcast.
There's no place like Hogwarts.
Okay, I'm done.
Anyway, so yeah, Anakin and Voldemort, 2 prime examples of self-fulfilling prophecies in pop culture.
Yes.
So to the Stargate, because that's what this podcast is about.
To the gate.
Previously on Stargate.
More Daniel!
Remember how Nirti just likes fucking with people and experimenting on people to create Hoktar?
Yeah. And no, we did kill Nirti, right? So
Nirti, well, we didn't kill Nirti.
Fair.
The
our
people she fucked with.
Yeah, our friends. But yeah.
Although in sci-fi, is anyone really dead?
Yowza. I mean, in this timeline.
No, Nirti's dead. Nirti's just gone.
Thank God.
So she took Cassandra and then all those people who previously just killed her, including Jonas on that planet a few episodes ago. Do you remember that time? Yeah. Awesome. Stick with me here. So when we come to this episode, the team is trying to be polite with the locals
Yes.
and their food.
Let's talk about this meager feast. I'm convinced. I zoomed in. I actually watched it on my computer.
Yeah.
I went full screen, and
Yes.
I was like, "What are we eating?" I've discovered that we are eating ribs in paste.
That works.
Paste ribs.
Paste ribs.
Yeah.
When you kill a paste, the ribs are the best part of the paste.
Yeah.
They've saved the best part.
And then they
for
cooked
the
it
locals.
in the
Well,
absolutely.
you have to cook it in the paste blood.
So I'm convinced that these are like paper mache ribs made with paper mache paste. You know, you use like the flour.
Yeah.
That's what we're eating.
That would be why Jack's like, I'm just gonna do this pushing around the shape thing like I know as a kid.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go like, got some hot sauce or like, something.
I mean, hot sauce make anything edible.
Hot sauce solves everything.
But they do see they're living in tents. There's a large mine behind them.
Yes.
So Ellery is the leader, and Chazin is, I guess, the second. I don't know.
The fart.
Something.
The fart.
The fart. He's the fart.
Yeah, he's the fart.
And he's drank the Lord Ball Juice. And the
sorry, you said ball juice.
Ball Juice. That's the nickname of this episode.
Yes.
Ball Juice.
AKA ball juice.
And so apparently the locals spend most of their time in the mines for Lord Ball. The mines.
I was like, is it going to happen today?
Mines.
Of course it's going to happen.
So Sam is like, didn't Ball abandon this planet like 100 years ago because like the Nakoda mine was dry? That's kind of what our intel says. In the background, you see Jonas is like having a migraine.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm fine. I'm just hot.
It's easy to think that it could just be like the gross food.
And that's what he's writing off as.
Yeah.
But like, no one's believing it.
It's like, nah, you look like shit, dude. What's really going on?
But Chazin just continues that like, look, we haven't seen Ball for like years, but we give all our stuff to his emissary, Lord Mott. And Lord Mott will be here in 12 days.
Also, Ball and Mott, best names ever. Can I call him Lord Applesauce?
Yeah, please do.
Done.
And with that, Jonas has a glow vision.
He does. It is like a little star glow edge.
It's a little glow vision, and he overhears Chazin like, "You fool of a took!
Yeah.
It would be madness to defy Lord Mott."
Yes.
And Jonas's headache is getting worse. Back in the real world, Ellery is like, "What? Like, we have our minds are drying up. Like, what good would it be to defy? They're gods after all,
right?
Are they not? We just have to give them as much as we can." And he looks to SG1 as in for confirmation, and Teal'c's like takes a deep breath, pulls out his pamphlets.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me talk to you about your Lord and Savior.
Lord
He's
Ball.
not actually. Like he does reverse, like the reverse witnessing.
Yeah.
Like, people who do the witnessing, they come and they knock on your door and they're like, hey, have you heard about our Lord Jesus Christ? And blah, blah.
I may or may not have fun sometimes with those people.
I'm sure you do. So he's a reverse witness. Like Teal comes and knocks on your door, points his staff weapon and says, there is no God, only Teal. And then he walks away and marks your house, and he's like, I'm done with this one.
Yeah. He marks, what's that thing you mark above the door?
Yeah.
It's
it's good time.
So Chazin's like, you be cray-cray. They have power. Isn't that the same thing as being a god? Which I'm like, to a certain level of people, kinda.
I mean,
when you're talking about villagers who live in tents and have no technology and the ghouls.
They have no other word for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's kind of like if you saw a superhero and had never read a comic, you'd be like, that person's a god.
And I'm butchering the quote, but technology that you don't understand is indistinguishable from magic.
There you go. Boom.
Done.
Yeah. So basically, it's all magic to me.
Computers are magic.
It's magic.
The computers are God. Wait. So Ellery.
Our robot overlords.
I do welcome our robot overlords. I will fight them from the inside.
Take a drink. It's a Nick.
It's Nick. So Ellery says that their people have an ancient prophecy that one day strangers from a strange land would come through. Guys, it's a good book. Read it. Would come through the Chapa Eye to slay their gods and free their people. And basically had a drawing of SG-1
Yeah.
like in the prophecy.
With a little staff weapon,
Uh-huh.
with a little stick man,
Yep.
and one little stick lady.
Yeah, with some
who they
gold
put
hair.
inexplicably in a dress for no reason
Yeah.
other than to distinguish that it's a lady.
Well, they put some gold hair on it.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They put some yellow
And then
hair.
they put a little gold thingy on the
Yeah.
tallest and the biggest
Yeah.
of the stick figures. And Chazen responds with the exact line that Jonas had his vision of. And Jonas is like, I got to get out of here.
Things are not
And
okay.
he starts to get up, and he doesn't make it.
Yeah. Guys, something put something in my blood. Is basically what happens.
And credits.
I know that feel. Just recently this week, I had one of those feels in the middle of the night where it's like, I don't feel so good. I didn't make it. I didn't make it.
I live here now.
Yeah, I'm on the floor.
I live here now.
Nothing feels better when you're sick to your tummy than the cold tile floor.
I agree.
Nothing feels. You're just like, leave me here.
Uh-huh.
I need to live here,
I live here now.
Yeah.
This is my home.
and it's so nice, and I want to
And
live here
it's
forever.
cold.
Yeah.
So Mott is a Canaanite god of death in the underworld.
Oh,
He's not just an applesauce anymore.
it's not just your average applesauce.
Which I'm like, that's another thing to name your applesauce after.
I want an
That's
applesauce.
Not
that's-
what
yeah.
applesauce was
I
named
want
after.
an applesauce that's called Death of the Under, or what did you say?
God of death in the underworld.
Yeah, I want an applesauce called Death in the Underworld.
I would eat that applesauce.
Death. What are you eating? Death.
The side of
All
underworld.
right, yeah, exactly. I like it.
Well, maybe the red applesauce is death, and then the green applesauce is underworld.
Oh, I like that.
Because I love green applesauce.
What's in the green applesauce? Is it
Green
food
apples.
coloring? That makes sense.
It's green apples.
I are smart.
Because green apples are the superior apples.
Oh, I'll fight you.
I will fight you with apples.
I do like a good green apple for all needs cooking.
Nope.
But I cannot eat a green apple for the life of me.
Good. I will give you all my red apples.
Oh,
You'll
I don't-
give me all my green
I have
apples.
no friends with red apples. I am a fan of a Honey Crisp.
Okay, Honey
Of a
Crisp are
nice
okay.
Pink and yellowy.
Yeah, those are okay.
Yeah.
But if it's a red apple, that's
Welcome to
redder.
the Merits of Apples podcast.
If it is an apple that is redder than a Honey Crisp, don't even put it in front of me.
Get it out of my face.
It's not going to get eaten by me.
Get it out of my personal space.
In mythology, in
Yeah.
Canaanite mythology, they actually have this great back and forth of insults. It's like, you will serve me. No, you will serve me. No, you will serve me.
Do you think it ever becomes like, let's just be best friends?
No, I think at one point there's something about Mott devouring Ball.
That sounds awesome. I'm just gonna eat all my enemies.
That's what happens back in the day.
Yeah. I was like, I don't like you, I'm gonna eat you.
You
Maybe
just
that's
eat
like
their power.
Stormy's mentality. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why he eats everything.
Probably.
I don't like this, I'm gonna eat it.
Well, it's like, if we're gonna go back to Harry Potter, it's like the sort of Gryffindor takes
Yeah.
on the powers of anything
That's
that it
true.
stabs. So basically, Stormy just absorbs the power of whatever
I
wood
like
he
it.
eats,
Yeah.
and just becomes more indestructible
Yeah, that's about appropriate for our
and
dog.
more susceptible to termites.
Mhm. Well, yeah. What can you do? Hopefully the flea and
When
tick
you're-
medication also
When
works.
your dog gets infested by termites.
So yeah, so whatever properties cardboard has, he must have like tenfold. Like
He
you
can
can build
store-
a fort of Stormies.
He's gonna store a lot of things. He can ship a lot of things in the store.
Yeah. The boy loves his cardboard. Like to the point where a package arrives, which luckily for me, with my
Yeah.
medications, I get packages once a week.
Often.
A package comes and he's like, "That's mine," and he'll sit patiently and wait for a piece of cardboard and then leave. And he doesn't-
Kaylee will take the paper towel. She gets a paper towel roll every once in a while,
yeah,
and it'll amuse her for about 5 minutes.
yeah.
And then she's done. I'm done, human.
Yeah. Next, please.
Next,
Entertain
please.
me. Nice.
So when we come back from credits,
Welcome to the cardboard podcast.
we're
Ball defeated Mott. Got it. Mott
Yes.
ate Ball.
yes. We come back. We're in the SGC corridor with
Yeah.
a great security camera feed to real life camera shot.
Yeah, this whole scene is really great. I love also that it goes into the West Wing.
Yeah.
Walk forward with
I
Janet.
love any walk and
A
talk.
walk and talk is the way to my heart.
It really is.
Yeah.
It is. So Jonas is looking himself again. And Frasier can't really find anything wrong with him. Like, he's healthy and good looking. But
she does. She goes full mom on him, and I really think he enjoys it.
Like, a little tiny part of him.
We don't know what Jonas's backstory is as far as his parents do. Yeah. But I feel like he's like, I'm sick.
Yeah.
I take care of me, even though he's like not like doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
I think a part of him really enjoys it, which I can't blame him.
I can't blame him.
If Janet was momming me too, I'd be like, can I get some more shoes?
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
She's like the most mom. She is the mom on the show.
She's the mom.
She's mom.
The mom.
So after knowing what happened to the others on his planet who are studying the Quadria, she's like, I just went ahead and did an MRI anyway.
Yeah.
And there's a little weird part of your brain that's going on right now.
Yeah, some strange is happening.
So Jonas is like, yeah, I'm fine. I just got dizzy because the food was shitty or something.
I didn't tell you guys this, but I had a lot of shots before we ate with one of the guards because he was questioning my manhood. So we went shot.
And their homebrew.
Yeah.
Moonshine. Is strong.
Yeah. He went full Marion in Indiana Jones.
Let's just say I think we can agree that Jonas does not have a high tolerance.
Oh no, Jonas and I could go drinking together and be like, I've had one. And he's like, me too. I'm good.
Yeah, Jonas.
Let's go be ridiculous.
I cannot see that Jonas has a high tolerance. What I find interesting is I can't decide how high of a tolerance Teal'c has, because the man either never drinks.
Yeah.
And like wouldn't have a shot, or the man just drinks all of it and doesn't.
I think he's like
a dwarf.
Who is it? Is it like I'm trying to think of the superhero who the alcohol doesn't do anything to them?
Oh, it's Flash.
Because, yeah. So
Flash.
He's basically like Flash.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm gonna drink this all day, nothing's gonna happen.
All day.
So to him, it's no different than drinking water, so he doesn't bother.
That's why I can't decide which of the two.
I mean, now he is juniorless.
He is
Before,
juniorless.
like, basically, Junior would get drunk and he'd be fine.
Oh, that's good. Jonas could have been his filter.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We need a comparison between junior and non-junior Teal'c drinking.
Yep, let's do it.
I volunteer for tribute.
I volunteer to be junior.
So in the briefing room, SG-1 is doing their thing, briefing away. According to the Tok'ra, Ball did abandon the planet P4S237 over 100 years ago, and Ball doesn't get any shipments from them anymore. So they're basically going to assume, as is basically easy to assume, that Mott's just keeping all the shipments for himself.
Why wouldn't you assume that?
Pretty
That's
obvious.
what I would do. I'd be like, yeah, give me those things for a ball.
Yeah. And so he has all this Naquita now, and could be plotting a move against Ball.
I love the idea that he's hoarding all this, but doesn't actually know what to do with it. So he's like, what the fuck do I do with this shit?
I have all this.
I know it's important. It's like if somebody gave me steel.
Yeah.
Like, I know steel's important and expensive, but I don't know what to do with it. So, like, what? I'm just storing steel in my backyard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I know, I just don't know how to get it from generic state to usable.
Yeah.
Do I need a forge?
What do I need? How do I do this?
Forge Naquita? Like,
yes, a Naquita forge. You find some dwarves. You find a dwarven enclave.
Okay.
And then you say, make me things.
And they use the power of a sun. And it's powered by Peter Dinklage.
I like it.
And it's...
and then Thor comes by.
I like
it.
Focuses the sun's power.
He's
anyway.
Beautiful.
So Sam thinks that since Ball has forgotten the planet, if we free the locals, then they're basically hopefully going to be forgotten by the System Lords and no one will come and take them back over.
Yeah.
You bright sunshine.
Oh boy.
Of a woman with your cheery optimist thoughts.
The sweetest things.
And that's all well and good, Hammond says, but this is all just an exercise unless they actually asked for help.
Right.
We can't force help.
Yeah.
And Jack's like,
You're met with the Prime Directive. It's like, sir, that's a different show. Got it. Just kidding.
It does have star in the name.
Yeah.
Jack is like, well, they winked at us, sort of.
They sort of almost asked for help. Maybe.
And in all of this, Jonas has another glow vision.
Yeah.
Of Jonas looking at his notebook and
by
Sam.
glow vision, we don't see he
have started watching season 2.
Yes.
We're an episode into season 2.
I just finished the first episode as well. Guys, watch Glow.
It's which one?
It's so good.
It's so ridiculous. Anyway, Sam comes in wondering if Jonas wants to grab lunch with her because Mexican Day.
Oh, yes. Good job. I feel like Sam's very like Pollyanna in this episode.
I'm assuming it's Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday.
It's Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
So he comes out of the vision and no one really notices that he was gone.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, well, if Mott, doesn't arrive on the planet for 12 days, then they're going to go hunting for intel.
Yeah.
Got 12 days to hunt.
Haley.
So Jonas heads into his office.
Haley.
He sees his notebook.
Yeah.
Sam immediately walks in, asking for lunch.
What is the drawing on that notebook?
I vaguely recognized it, but I forgot to look it up. It's a goddess statue. I think I've seen it before, and if it's something original from a planet, it's a derivative of one of the goddesses on Earth.
Got it.
But I blanked.
I think I was more taken aback because I'm like, did he write over the drawing? Because it looks like there's notes on top of it. It's like sacrilege.
He may
not write in your books. Although I am a don't write in your books person.
I will say this. I do have a couple books I've written in, but they are duplicate copies. I have a copy of Lord of the Rings that is solely for highlighting and noting and cross-referencing.
Got it. I am a tab person, a post-it tab, and then you write on the tabs.
I do also, to me, there's a difference with a textbook.
Yeah.
Versus a book. I have weird rules. My textbooks, I have text written in.
Oh, gotcha.
And references and stuff. Sometimes it's sticky notes, sometimes it's written in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I get it. I am a big fan of tabby things. Those of you who played D&D with me.
Yeah. Which tab? The 47th tab is the one you're looking for.
The 47th blue tab. Because the blue tabs mean these things specifically, and the yellow tabs mean this other thing. Yeah. They're tabbed by character.
See, I tab things to know where to go look for the notes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Done.
Anyway, so Jonas is like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Sam's like, it's just deja vu. You'll be fine. It's normal.
Yeah.
People basically say it's caused by split-second delay in sense perception. Well, so most science kind of says that deja vu is actually your brain sort of misfiring, and instead of experiencing a moment as it's happening, your brain misfires and acts like it's recalling a memory.
Oh.
Which is why you get the sense that you've seen this before, is because your brain is experiencing
it from the wrong part.
It's not, it's almost like it's index tabbed it as a wrong thing.
Yeah.
So instead of you seeing everything and sensing it and your brain going, alrighty, current experience, file it away.
Yeah.
It's coming in and your brain's like, wait, what file is this coming from?
Did we pull this from a file?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, basically.
Maybe your brain is so fast that it's like, we had already filed this as it happened.
Yeah, basically,
cool.
yeah. And there's various studies, but I just love these numbers on Wikipedia, so I'll full admit, as I normally do, I did not go to the actual journal publications to double check these numbers. One study said that 2/3 of the population experienced deja vu.
Okay.
The other one, the greatest number in the world, somewhere between 31 and 96% of the population experienced it.
Oh boy.
So that number makes me so happy.
What is the room for error on that?
I didn't even bother to go look it up.
Holy moly.
Because that number made me happy. For horrible reasons.
I'm no pro at this, but the part of me that just took a statistics course is just like, what? How deviation? 60%?
Somewhere between none of the population and all of the population experienced
all of the population plus 20% of the population. All of the population plus extra.
Well, some non-humans experience it.
My dog?
Yep.
Big deal of it. God. Puppy vu.
Jonas is pretty sure that this was different though and not deja vu. He goes,
it's deja vu. Sorry. That's puppy vu. I'm done now.
Okay, vu. And Jonas didn't say anything earlier because he didn't really think much of it. It just happened once. But the second time it happened, he's like, maybe this is a thing.
Yeah.
So Janet meets with Hammond in Hammond's office. There's been a second MRI, and she's ruled out the Nequadro exposure and schizophrenia, but there's a weird spot in his MRI that has her worried.
Okay.
And she hands the MRI to Hammond as if he knows what the fuck he's looking at.
Look, it's a brain tumor, and he's like, I agree.
I see colors.
Yeah, that spot's totally a brain tumor.
Right.
He's like, that's his eye socket.
It seemed big for a tumor.
It was weird. Yeah, I was just testing you.
Janet is worried that it's a tumor, though, and it could be why he passed out, and it's probably best if Jonas is taken off active duty.
Yeah, he gets planeted.
So,
like grounded, but just to this planeted. So
you're
planeted.
Basted.
Yeah. You're basted.
Which is you get to stay on the base, and then we coat you in chicken broth.
Yeah. And orange shoes. I don't know why I like to base things in orange shoes.
So SG1 is in Jonas's office, and the blocking and the costuming here, did you catch this? Is really interesting.
No.
The shot that we get is Sam, Jack, and Teal'c on one side of the screen, and Jonas alone on the other side. And Jonas is wearing green BDUs, and the other three are wearing blue BDUs.
Huh. Yeah, he's definitely our outsider.
Yeah, I found it very interesting blocking and costume choices.
I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna cry.
So Jonas is annoyed as being taken off duty, as you would be, and I'm confused because he's like, something else has to be going on. Whatever Janet saw in the MRI has to have something to do with these visions.
Right.
And we're like, yeah, that's literally what she said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That we don't know what it is, but it must have something to do with your visions.
Yeah. Were you not paying attention?
Did you not watch the last scene?
How bad is your brain tumor?
Are you hearing things?
Yeah.
He is hearing things. He's
hearing and seeing and experiencing.
So
maybe it's that weird ugly green he's wearing. Kaylee's not a fan either.
Kaylee doesn't like the green. So he does have a point. They're not quite buying the prophetic dreams or anything. But at the same time, he's like, you didn't believe me about the ghost bugs either, and that shit turned out to be true. So maybe, like, open your mind.
How about
so
every now and then believe me? Because I've yet to be wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Jack immediately wants to know what's for lunch. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's a calendar somewhere, Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like remember when school they would give you the paper calendar and you would circle the days where you're like, definitely want school lunch this day.
Yeah, but I do agree. It's Jack, so he's probably food-based.
He lost it. Yeah, he lost the calendar. It never made it home in his backpack.
Well, he doesn't get the memos either. I'm pretty sure Jack just doesn't pick up his emails.
Yeah.
Jack just never checks.
He's got like thousands of unread emails.
Yeah, he just never checks his inbox.
And he's like, I don't even know what my password is anymore. So it's not gonna happen.
The password is gone fishing 1.
Yeah. It's like part 1, part 2, part 3.
Well, he might need a couple more characters, so it might be farting 1.
Yeah. Farting 1.
And then he sometimes has to change it, so it changes to just sharding 1.
Yeah. Or just names of fish. It's like grouper, salmon,
whitefish,
yeah,
mackerel. So Teal'c points. Jonas is like, "Look, I can't just control what I see.
Yeah,
yet." It's just flashes.
Mm.
And Teal'c points out, he goes, look, we've seen some strange shit in our travels, but never have I seen an elephant fly. Or seen people see the future. Did you see the trailer for the live action Dumbo yet?
Yeah, it's a little...
I'm not kind of okay with it.
I'm a little scared.
I'm kind of not okay with it.
I feel like it's going to hurt my heart.
I'm more like, you don't have to turn all of your films into live action.
Yeah.
Like, Dumbo should not, do Little Mermaid before you do Dumbo, because it really...
I would definitely be okay with a Little Mermaid.
Yeah, it really doesn't have to be done. Like,
although it's been done. It's called Shape of Water. Yeah. I'm going to stick with that. I'm proudest of that right now.
They could do Little Mermaid if they cast Amy Pond as Ariel.
She'd be good, but I feel like Ariel's so young.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you got to get like a 16-year-old to play her.
I know. I kind of also would take casting Rose Leslie. Leslie Rose. Rose Leslie. I never remember which order her name's going.
I think it's Rose Leslie.
I think it is too.
Rose Leslie Harrington.
Uh-huh. That you could see as a Little Mermaid too.
They've got the hair, but the thing is,
I don't know. I don't mind her being a little older.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
they age differently under the sea.
And the personality's a little more naive.
She can play. You don't need to age under the sea.
That's true.
She's probably can play naive.
That's true. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so Sam's argument against this whole situation, as Sam's argument would be, is that it goes against the laws of physics.
Yeah.
I cannot change the laws of physics.
Yeah. It's not science, therefore it's not real.
Exactly. So Jonas is gone, and when he comes back from his vision, the Tok'ra are coming. The Tok'ra are coming. The Tok'ra are coming.
2 if by sea, 1 if by land, and 2 if by sea.
Cue off world activation sirens, and Jonas is like, oh, and her name is Cena.
Yeah, just on top of everything else.
Yeah.
I do like Jonas's like sick acting, like his quote unquote.
He's a good sick actor.
It's like it's good, but it's also like on the border of like, okay,
Too
dude,
much?
just go home.
Yeah.
If you're sick, go home.
Yeah.
Like, you know when you're sick at work where you actually are sick.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm gonna play it up a little bit because it's like I feel a little shitty that I have to go home.
Well, it's almost one of those where it's like I just don't feel like pretending that I'm like I don't feel like pretending that I'm okay. I'm just going to wear my sickness on my sleeve.
Yeah. I know that one.
They walk into the briefing room and Hammond would like to introduce them to Cena of the Tok'ra, and everyone's like, "Fuck."
And then Jonas is like, air horn. Bitches, I told you.
And yeah, info on Ball, great. So apparently Ball lost his battle with you, lost it badly. You is the only system lord not serving Anubis at this point.
Yeah. So you, Ball, and Mott, all of these names are names that would get made fun of when you were little. All of these people are angry system lords. I don't think that's a coincidence.
And Jonas Jack is making fun of them,
right? But it's like that's why they're so angry.
Ball.
So really, we have their parents to thank.
As in Butchie. It's impressive that you still going, considering he's the only one fighting against Anubis, and Anubis is now pissed at Ball for losing. Which would mean it's a perfect time for Mott to make his move. And Jonas points out that if they're going to help the planet, they better do it now.
Because shit's going to hit the fan.
Fan will meet shit soon.
Get to it.
So Jonas later on is medicating himself with, I'm assuming, some pain meds. And Sam comes in, and she's like, Jonas, we've never met that Tok'ra before. What the actual fuck is going on?
He's like, I'm fucking telling you what's going on, and you won't believe me. I don't know what more I need to say.
She's like, look, we've never met anyone with precog abilities. But Jonas is like, but we've seen other psychic powers.
Right.
Just a few weeks ago, we were on P3X367, and Woden was telekinetic. Edgar was telepathic. Cassandra has powers that we've seen before.
Why are we acting like this is so strange? It's a little bit strange, but not major strange.
Look at the shit that we've seen.
Why does nobody understand me? I am an emo Jonas. Emo Jonas.
Sorry. Nirti's like, look, or Jonas goes, Nirti had that machine for over an hour. Just imagine what the fuck she done to me in that point in time.
At the risk of making this too serious, it's like this fucked up metaphor for like, I told you guys something happened to me. Why does no one believe?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So in the infirmary, they've done a third MRI. And Janet can't really tell anything without a biopsy, but she is fairly sure it's not cancer. She has no clue what it is beyond that, but whatever it is has also grown over 50% since the last time.
So regardless of whether it's benign or not, it's huge.
It's huge. And she's like, we need to do surgery now because otherwise the intracranial pressure will kill him at some point.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So Janet tells the whole team this instead of Jonas because who cares about,
Let's not tell the person who's
confidentiality.
suffering. There's no HIPAA
No.
dealings in the base.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no HIPAA here.
Yeah. Well, also, does HIPAA extend to otherworldly creatures?
Probably not.
Maybe not.
And Janet has called Dr. Sandy Van Densen.
Wowza.
The best neurosurgeon there is, considering Doctor Strange is missing after a car crash.
Please, when we get there.
But first of all, I do like the idea that the best neurosurgeon around is another female.
I do like that. I do like that they bring in a neurosurgeon.
And don't just pretend that Janet is
can magically do neurosurgery.
Because that's not like a special skill or anything. Yeah. Any doctor can cut into your brain and not destroy you.
I mean, I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
What was the commercial? I went to something. There's that commercial.
I went to Jared. I don't know.
No, it's like, okay.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. What commercial? Back. Anyway,
I'm going to wipe that from your brain.
Cut that. Jonas doesn't want the surgery, though. He thinks that this is because of Nurti, and he thinks he's on his way to being a Hoktar, and he thinks this weird brain tissue is giving him precog abilities.
Yeah, I think I can't really blame him here. I think I might keep it, too. I'd be like, let's hold off a little bit longer.
2 + 2 = 4, guys.
Yeah, this is the way to go.
And Janet's like, look, all that may or may not be true, but it doesn't change the fact that if it continues to grow at the rate that it's growing, it will kill you.
Yeah.
Also a valid point. So Jonas is like, well, maybe it'll stabilize at a certain point. Jack's like, why? Why would that happen?
Because magically it's just going to be okay. It's like when you turn up the radio, then the car's magically going to be fine.
Like,
if we just ignore it, it will stop growing.
Jack's like, because all of Nurti's plans turn out swimmingly for the person who is changed.
Yeah. No.
Remember when people turned into water? Remember that thing?
I forgot about that.
So Teal'c is like, sorry, I'm squirting the dog with a water gun. Yeah. So
mind you, let's take a brief pause.
Yes.
Dogs and water guns are usually a good way to use negative discipline because they're not fans of the water guns. Stormy was immune to a water gun. What we had to do is buy a $20 super soaker. That is the only weapon he is not immune to. So he's got a natural armor of plus water gun strength. Not super soaker.
I'm glad Kaylee's water AC is not that high.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
To be fair, Kaylee's
two-handed super soaker.
Kaylee's water AC is so low that he doesn't have to be water in the water gun.
Yeah, she said. Yeah, she just fails the will save on the water fear. Where Stormy will take 2 super soaker hits and then be like, okay, fine.
So Jonas wants to try to get all the intel that he can get. Think of the advantage that we'd have if we know when the next and where the next Gould attack will be.
Yeah.
Teal'c's like, yeah, that's all well and good, but you haven't seen anything remotely close to that.
But also, you can't do that if you're dead.
You can't do that if you're dead, and so far you've prophesied what lunch will be.
Right. Like, you haven't actually gotten anything good out of this yet.
No. Jonas is like, just give me time. 48 hours.
Yeah.
Hammond's like, you have 24. We're not bargaining on this.
No. He should have asked for 72. He might have gotten 36.
Probably. And he's sitting up the mission back to the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I already thought he was because he was already off active duty.
Yeah.
But for that, Jack is going to take SG-1 minus Jonas, SG-15, and Jonas is not happy about staying behind or the situation that's unfolding.
Yep.
So in the infirmary, Janet goes, why are you doing this, Jonas?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, even limited precog abilities are going to be invaluable. Janet sort of sees this as maybe Jonas's imposter syndrome, which I fully believe it would be.
Well, and so here's the thing. It's like Jonas has had a lot of trouble feeling useful, feeling like he's fitting in, feeling like there's anything that he can contribute.
Yeah.
So the idea that he's got these abilities, which as far as everyone else has seen, aren't really worth anything.
No.
And he's like, I can make these something.
I
and
can
it's
do
like,
anything.
Everybody else is like, this is a desperate move.
Yeah.
Just stop.
And Janet tells him that he needs to realize he's probably valuable enough already as it is.
Oh.
So with that, Jonas
Yeah, you're
gets,
the best, Mom.
Janet's the bestest. With that, Jonas gets another glow vision of Sam and V-Fib as they roll a gurney down the hallway with like a wound in her shoulder.
Yeah.
Doesn't look good. And as Jonas comes out of it, the gate is active alarm is going off and Jonas goes running.
Yeah.
Although, does the gate is active alarm turn on before the gate is active? Because the gate is kabooshing when he finally gets there.
I don't know. The whole thing is clearly I've watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy and medical shows. I watched a lot of ER in my time.
I've seen all of VR.
And it's like they bring Sam through on this gurney and they're like, charge the paddles, and I'm like, she's still wearing all their clothing.
Yeah.
Let's just start there. And also, what are you charging the paddles on? You're in a traveling gurney. Do you have a portable defibrillator?
Because I'm pretty sure the portable, like that's a bigger thing.
Yeah.
That rolls.
Where's your crash cart?
Yeah.
I'm done.
Anyway, the Stargate's kooshing when he gets to the gate room, and Jonas just yells that they have to scrub the mission. Sam gets hurt. I saw it happen.
I love that he gets all the way through to that room with nobody like being like, "What the fuck, Jonas?
Why are you running?"
Yeah.
There's no running in here. There's no fighting in the war room.
Like the popular kids in high school. It's like, just whatever. It's
just Jonas.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Probably.
Yeah.
In the briefing room, Jonas tells exactly what he saw. But Teal points out the Jaffa wouldn't be at the village for days, so how would you see a staff wound on her shoulder? Jonas is like, I don't know, but maybe they're wrong or they lie. Sam's like, that's exactly it. We can't know for sure.
Yeah. I feel Sam's definitely like exasperated here.
Yeah.
Especially because it's her we're talking about now.
Yeah. She's like, maybe it's not even this mission. It could be weeks from now, and they can't second guess every decision they make. Like, life is a calculated risk.
Right.
That's what it is. And Hammond agrees, but still going to err on the side of caution, is going to have Sam sit this one out too, just to be safe. So, back in the village, SG-15 has swept the surrounding areas. There's no Jaffa. Ellery is like, that's what I said.
I told you everything was fine.
Jack just wants to make sure that Ellery and his people want this. Because, not because of some prophecy, not because of anything else, but because his people want this and they're going to follow through.
Out of your own free will, do you want to be part of this thing?
And Ellery tells the story of last winter when there was like a little mini plague or something, and people couldn't work, so there wasn't enough naquita, and Mott just took 10 sick villagers, including a son-in-law, and just murdered them in front of the whole village.
Yeah, he's like, look, dude, I'd rather this than be murdered all the time.
Yeah.
Constant murder.
So we'll follow through because we want to be free, and Jack is convinced.
Also, Constant Murder is the name of a song. Constant Murder. Got it.
Chazen is not convinced, though, and he sneaks out into the woods, and we see he has a little Gould mini TV.
This motherfucker. You know what it is? He's chafed for constantly unhappy.
Yep. So, back in Jonas's office, Jonas is getting a little light sensitive and trying to read Precognition. Your dreams do come true. Director of the episode with a little picture of him on the back.
Aww.
Some of my favorite little Easter eggs.
Your dreams do come true.
But he can't really read because he's just migraine distracted. Right. And just then the medical emergency is announced overhead and he heads down, runs into Siler. He has a badly burned hand and they were doing an overhaul of the gate generator and there was a power spike. The capacitor blew and Sam was hurt too.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time understanding Sam's injury because she's burnt, but then her heart stops.
I have a hunch that she just basically was electrocuted.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I think there's a burn right here, like as a staff weapon. So I think basically she got a bolt of electricity sent through her that just freaked out or hurt the same
Yeah.
way if you were alive and were defibrillated.
Weird how that works.
But it turns
Crazy how nature do that.
But it turns out exactly like Jonas's vision. But where it was cut off not knowing what happened, Sam does live. They get her pulse back, continue on the way to the infirmary, because the burn Jonas saw was not a staph blast.
Because his visions lied.
Well, they didn't lie. They just didn't interpret it wrong.
I agree.
So sometime later, Sam is doing much better, bouncing back well, and just feels a little overcooked is all. Just a little well done.
Yeah.
Jonas, on the other hand, is realizing that precog is really hard to interpret.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
I'm
That's
not
all you.
either.
I wrote blah, 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 quantum things.
Oh, no, that part I'm going to touch
Okay.
later. Yeah. Sam doesn't want to blame, like, this is not your fault, Jonas. Like, this is just, it happened. But Jonas continues, like, he's always been hyper observant. He sees details and patterns that most other people miss. And he's wondering if his predicting the future is an extension of that. That he's just seeing all the patterns, seeing all the pieces, and he's able to think of where
he knows where they're going. Yeah.
And it doesn't work that way, Sam tells him. According to Newtonian physics, if you could know the position and velocity of every particle in the universe at every given moment, you could predict their interactions for the rest of the time. The concept of, if you know all the patterns, then you can go, it's like if you are playing pool.
Right.
If you know how everything's going to work, you know how it's going to bounce off that side, bounce that side, bounce off that side. If it's going to hit this ball at the right angle, where that ball's going to go.
It's like a chess game. It's like everything.
Exactly. Jonas is like, so the future is predetermined. We just need enough info. She's like, sort of. Quantum physics blows it out of the water because the point is, because of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, you can't know where all the particles, their position, their velocity, in order to make those predictions.
It almost sounds like there's just so many outcomes.
Catches, and I'll get to in a second. Jonas then says, so I'm seeing probable futures, like what you said. And maybe, and you can tell Jonas is not getting on sleep. He's getting ragged.
Yeah.
So I think I've covered the Heisenberg uncertainty principle before. But for the people in the back, if you're looking at a particle, like a light, it could be a particle of light. If you're looking at something, you can't know its position, where it currently is, and its velocity, where it's going at the same time.
Okay.
If you, the closer you get to knowing its position, the less you know where it's going to go.
Okay.
The more you figure out which direction it's heading in, the less you're going to know its position.
Because they're two opposing vectors.
It's just, and so that's the problem with the earlier talk about the Newtonian physics. You can't know the position and velocity of all the particles in the universe, both the position and the velocity.
You can't zoom in and zoom out at the same time.
Yes.
Which is essentially how I think of it. Because the more you know the position, the more you're zooming in on that one position, making you a little more blind to the rest of
to where it's going and the direction it's going to go to. Yeah. So a German physicist, Werner Heisenberg, put it forth in 1927. Heisenberg. That's why it's the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. And there's a similar concept called the observer effect, which most people, including I, have gotten it confused at the same time. It's separate, but that is the concept that if you measure something, if you measure whether you're measuring its position, whether you're measuring its size, if you measure something, you are therefore affecting it or changing it.
Okay.
And so,
interesting.
Yeah. So by observing something, by watching something, you are then changing the structure in which it exists in.
Whoa. Okay.
Even the concept of if you are studying and observing a pride of lions in the wild.
Because they're no longer in the wild, now you're observing them.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
I understand now. The fact that you've introduced yourself as another variable.
Yeah.
Got it.
The fact that you are trying to go measure something's location will then possibly affect where that particle's position is.
I'm with you now.
And I think that also applies to this episode as well, because he is observing these visions.
He's changed them,
and he's then changing the situation that they exist in.
Predetermined fate versus free will.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also a fun note that Einstein really kind of had a beef with this idea.
Whoa, I like it.
Of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. He actually had a lot of fun trying to poke holes in it, and him and Niels Bohr actually like debated it back and forth with like mental problems.
That would have been fun to watch.
I know.
I mean, I wouldn't know what the hell was going on, but it still would have been fun to watch.
And I see them like just like betting alcohol on it, like a bottle of booze on it or something.
I'm done.
So back on the planet at night, Jack, Teal'c, Pierce, and LRI are discussing strategery. Mott lands over in that area.
Lord Applesauce is here. Okay.
And he usually only has 8 or 10 Jaffa because he never expects resistance.
Yeah.
Because nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. And it's going to be easy peasy for SG-115.
Sure, yeah.
So then Chazen comes in because he's gone and just fucked everything up.
Yeah, because he's an idiot.
And a scout ship then flies over, and Chazen announced that Lord Mott has come early, and he sets off a stun grenade.
Yeah. He's very haughty and very cocky, and it's like, you just fucked up.
Annoying.
Yeah.
So Janet comes into Jonas's office to discuss test results with him, and he is on the floor with his eyes open. Is probably not a good thing.
Good.
If we learned anything from Stranger Things,
it's
when 11 gets a
Your
nosebleed.
brain is bleeding now. You're gonna die.
So
this is where I had a moment where I'm like, these motherfuckers are gonna kill Jonas. And I think I may have yelled something at you, and I was very unhappy.
You did, and I was like, I have nothing to drink.
Don't kill Jonas.
So in a cell somewhere, Jack is like, every time I wake up in a Gould cell, I can't help but think that something bad is going to happen.
You think?
So Mott comes in on villain cue.
Oh, yeah.
Jack.
Mott, who I like to think of as poor man Steve Buscemi.
Which
who would have known that there is a poor man Steve Buscemi? Love you, Steve Buscemi. But your face is very specific. But it is. It's a poor man Steve Buscemi.
Yeah,
he's somehow not even as interesting to look at.
No, he's not. But Jack's like, you've come to punish us for our insolence, yada yada, and literally says yada yada.
Yeah, we know this line. Get to it.
And he's like, save it.
Like at this point, it's like when you're playing a video game and you skip the villain's dialogue. It's like, yeah, I know what you want. Let's get to the fight scene. Yeah.
And Jack's like, save it. Like, look, if we don't report back on schedule,
the
Tok'ra are gonna rat you.
Get through the cutscene. Get through the cutscene.
Mott basically tries to call their bluff right here, though. He goes, look, you're here because you people want to be the savers and want to protect the people of this planet. But if you go tell Ball, the people here are gonna be fucked. Yeah. That Ball's gonna come back.
Yep.
So basically I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I win.
Okay, so Teal'c tries the tactic of, well, if you kill Ball, then you're gonna have to answer to Anubis. And Mott's like, yeah, I thought of that too, bitch.
Yeah.
He goes, this is your GDO. You people are going to give me the code. I'm going to open up the Stargate, open up your iris, the Destroy Stargate command, and then Anubis is going to welcome me with open arms.
Ta-da! I win all the things.
And then
the whole pretty good plan.
SG team's like, no.
Like, it's really cocky, but it's a good plan.
It's a good plan. And regardless, Mott...
But he underestimates the SG team.
Never... underestimate the Spanish. Never mind.
The power of grace. Farts.
The power of skulls.
Things. Words. I don't know. I don't know everything.
So, regardless of what's going to happen, Mott's going to go deal with the villagers first because they got to be punished. Yes. If you spare me the GDO code, I'll spare you the villagers.
No, thank you.
And they're like, yeah, no, and he villains away. Might as well have a cloak.
Yes.
So
that he hides his face behind.
Exactly. So Jonas wakes up in the infirmary.
Maybe he just does that thing like that new dog challenge where he puts up a blanket and then runs away before he drops it to vanish.
Oh.
Guys, if I tried that with Stormy, the second the blanket goes up, she attacks. Because that is the game we play when I make the bed every morning.
We do that, and Kaylee's like,
"Don't care."
Yeah, I have no cares. I'm gonna go get some food.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
So Jonas wakes up in the infirmary because he had a seizure. And Janet's like, I'm not waiting any longer because if this thing gets in your head any bigger, we're not going to be able to take it out safely.
Yep.
And Jonas has another vision.
This is a good one, too.
It's a super good one. So SG-15, the code comes through the control room. So they open the iris. And instead of SG-15, blasts start coming through. Shattering the control window, followed by a shock grenade, more Jaffa taking out everyone in the gate room. Walter's dead. Jaffa carried through a giant fucking bomb. All the crossfire. Hammond gets the iris closed, but it's too late and just stands there like a badass motherfucker as the bomb explodes.
Hammond, sad that it has to be only in flashback, but it shows us the kind of badass motherfuckery
he
that got him to where he is.
Not even ducking.
He's like, I ain't even worried right now. This is how shit goes down. This is how I get to become General Hammond.
Exactly. And then flashing Jonas out of it as the bomb explodes.
Do you think he served in Vietnam?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where he showed his badassery. So he, at this point, he's scared of nothing. Because
I'm pretty sure they mentioned that him and Jacob served together.
That's right.
Yeah. So Hammond and Sam come up to the infirmary and finish recounts the vision that he saw to them. Sam's like, we should warn our people.
Yeah.
And Jonas is like, yeah, but what if sending them message is what causes that vision
to happen? At this point, he's hit analysis paralysis where he's like, fuck, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. What the hell do I do?
And by the way, Sam got better real quick.
Oh, yeah, Sam's fine.
She's like, I've got my arm in a sling, but I'm good.
Yeah, I like the only remnants of anything that happened. It's like, I just arm sling.
I'm fine.
The fact that she let her out of a bed hours
after
her heart stopping.
Yeah.
Janet.
Here's the thing. Did Janet let Sam up, or does Janet still...
Janet hasn't seen her yet.
Exactly.
And the minute Janet sees her, she's going to be like, what the hell are you doing right now? How the hell are you...
She just stuck out and got changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Janet has no clue.
It's like, no. You get back in there.
Did I say you can get up?
Yeah.
Did I say you can get up?
I will put you down
Get your ass back in that bed.
She just puts her in sleeper.
Yeah, Vulcan pinch.
Yeah.
So Sam wants to emphasize that the future is not predetermined. And in the absence of more information, which you don't have yet, the best thing to do is to follow normal procedure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Jonas counters that we're already past normal procedure because we're having this conversation.
Right. You're right. This is no longer normal.
It's like we just talked about the observer effect. I've seen the thing, so I've changed the thing.
We've already left the gift shop.
So Jonas wants to wait. He wants to see if he can find out and see how the Jaffa get the code. Maybe he's just not trying hard enough to control his visions. And I'm like, Jonas, please, that's adorable.
You're grasping at straws, dude.
Janet is like, all the nope in the world. We need to get you in surgery. Jonas just wants a little bit more time.
Just a tiny, tiny bit more time for things.
So back in Gould Prison.
Yes.
LRI's daughter brings in drinks for the guards.
This is my favorite part of the whole... I'm going to let you tell it, and I'm going to share my thoughts.
And then Jack is like, could you bring some this way? And then he sees that it's laced with some Calmino roots.
She gives him the face of like, shut the fucking mouth. Because I don't know if you can see here, but I am staying sexy and not getting murdered.
Yeah, she is.
And you are about to fuck this up for us. SSDGM.
SSDGM. But the Jaffa go down hard and they're going to sleep for many hours because bitch saved the day.
Yeah.
And she grabs the keys, unlocks the door, hands him a Zat gun.
Yeah.
Apparently Mott is also intending to kill her father to set an example in town.
Yeah.
So they're going to try and get to the Stargate.
I wonder what got her to this point. Like, cause she's like, oh, cool. Actually, once these people will figure it out. Yeah. They'll help us out. Oh, fuck. These motherfuckers are crap.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. This is Mott's here.
Yeah.
She's like, well, God damn it. I guess I have to handle this now. That's how that went.
Basically.
Yeah.
This is on me. I'll show you how it's done. God damn it. So.
Because she doesn't even seem to be
phased.
She's not fearful.
No.
She's just like, shut up. I'm making this plan work.
This is the thing that has to be done right now.
Yeah.
And I'm getting this thing done. So back in the infirmary, Jonas has stolen a bunch of Teal'c's candles.
This is the best Jonas part.
And is hoping to meditate his way to visions.
This is like when you finally get a chance to use something for a legitimate reason, like that belongs to your parents, like a tool or you know what I mean? You're like, I totally have to. My dad had a really cool calculator watch when I was little. The coolest thing, because I was me and it was.
I have a cool. Can I just say they don't have a calculator on this damn thing?
That is dumb. They should have a calculator.
Like you can get a third-party one. How is there not a calculator on my watch? So
my dad had this really cool calculator watch, and I was doing homework once when I was little, and my dad's like, "Well, here, use my watch," because I didn't have a calculator, and I was like, I need it because I'm doing things that I could probably do in my head, but I need to add.
I can't do any math in my head.
Oh, I can do math in my head, but I'm weird.
Sometimes I'm like 8 + 7.
I do really good at like, especially when I'm checking like our budget.
Yeah.
I can do a quick round off of numbers, and I'm like, that's about $65.
Yeah, no.
And Jesse will be like, please hold while I pull out my green visor and my money counter, and it's like, yes, it's $64.23. And I'm like, so would you say that's about $65? And he goes, shut your face.
Only if you round up.
Yeah. Done.
No. Yeah. Up.
Yeah. Up is good.
So, I also like the idea that Jonas is like sat with Teal'c while he's Kelna reaming before, and Teal'c is like, "Can you not be here?
Please stop breathing so loud." Like, okay, I'm gonna try my best to just sit here quietly. But also, I feel like Jonas is fidgety.
Oh, Jonas is super fidgety.
He's fidgety, and he's like a loud breather, and then he keeps coughing.
And then he's like taking notes on the side too.
Yeah, and it's like, can you fucking quit it?
So anyway, it works. He sees visions, and he sees SG-1 and SG-13 jogging towards the gate, and then they get to the DHD, and Pierce sends his IDC, and then there's a staff blast coming, and it hits Pierce right in the back. A firefight ensues. Bad-looking fight right now.
Teal'c goes into a rage.
Teal'c goes into a rage. He goes to try to grab the injured Pierce, and tries to get him to safety, but is hit in the back.
Yeah.
And he tries to rise up. He tries to go into rage mode with a face of, I'm going to kill all of these fuckers. And then is shot in the back again and is killed.
Yeah. It's no good.
So Jack is then alone, surrounded by Jaffa. We do not see the end of that. I'm assuming Jack's going to be killed.
Well.
No.
That's my theory.
And Jonas comes out of it, and he wakes up, and he's like, I need to get to the control room, but then collapses as he tries to get out of bed. And Janet's like, you need surgery now. We are cutting into your brain.
Yep. And then she gives him lorazepam, and that's the one I know.
Yeah.
I know that one.
So on the planet, Elrai's daughter is leading him to the path to the Chapo Eye, and she's like, please hurry, because they're going to murder my dad soon.
This is not going well.
Back at the SGC, Jonas comes to as he's being wheeled to surgery. He doesn't want to go yet. Sam, meets him in the hallway. And he tells Sam what he saw, and like what he saw is going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So she rushes up to the control room. They dial up the planet to tell Jack that it's an ambush. And Jonas is then not looking good. He's in cold sweats in the surgery room, surgical suite.
Yeah.
He's confused, and Janet goes into mom mode, soothing him. We got this. We're done.
You gotta stop.
You gotta stop. This is on us now. In the village, Chasen hears Hammond over the walkie-talkie trying to warn Jack.
This asshole.
Asshole. And
I love that he gets his just desserts at the end.
He does, yeah. And he tells one of his men to go check on the prisoners. And in the control room, they can't pick up Jack. They can't pick up Pierce. They could be out of range. They could get the message, but they can't respond. The Malp isn't getting anything. Like, Hammond can't risk sending another team. If there's really an ambush waiting, all he can do is hope Jack got the message.
Yeah, they're just kind of sitting on their hands at this point.
And I know Hammond wants to send people in there, but he can't.
No, you can't risk other people like that.
No. So we see SG-1 and SG-15 approaching the gate. And
I just remember that I put M&Ms in my coffee.
You put M&Ms in your coffee?
And then I went, is that kibble? What did I do to my? I'm really sorry, guys. This is just very distracting.
I never heard of someone putting M&Ms in
I don't know
coffee
why
before.
I did it. I did it though.
Were you trying to make like a mocha?
I think I was just. I wanted coffee and M&Ms, and I couldn't.
You just accidentally
I
threw
just
one.
did both.
It's Rose at the end of Titanic
Yeah.
accidentally throwing
She's like,
the heart of
"Fuck."
the ocean into
Yeah.
the ocean.
I just carry on.
Okay, my wayward son. So we see SG-1 and SG-15 approaching the gate in the exact same way that Jonas did in this mission.
No.
And in the village, we see the guy come and tell Chazen that the prisoners are gone. And they
Yeah.
sound the alarm.
Yeah.
So SG-1 and SG-15 are at the gate. Again, duplicate of Jonas's vision.
Everything is happening on cue.
And you can hear the Jaffa war horn in the distance.
Mhm.
And they take cover because the gunfire starts.
Yeah.
And in the village, Mott is pissed.
I love this. Yeah.
Mott is pissed that Chase took it upon himself to sound the alarm without his knowledge.
There's always some idiot who's like the sycophant who thinks he knows
Yeah.
more than he knows and ends up fucking everything up. Not liked by anyone, including the guy he's trying to be pleasant to. Like,
Yeah.
the guy he's trying to show his allegiance to.
So it was Mott's plan all along to let the girl help.
Yeah.
The Jaffa are waiting. It's an ambush.
Uh-huh.
And Mott starts ribbon devicing him. But then bitch comes out and just straight up shoots Mott with
like,
Jack's sidearm.
She is my hero. Legitimately my
I
hero.
also love the concept that she got the Zat gun and the pistol and just gave the Zat gun to Jack and kept the pistol for
Yeah, she's
herself.
like, this is mine now. Well, and I love that she's like, yeah, I know that you knew. I did that on purpose, but I know that you know and I know things too, so
Uh-huh.
now I kill you!
And you're dead.
Yeah.
This is great. So back at the SGC, in the OR, they are brain surgery.
Okay, again, I'm
Yeah.
going to pull out my knowledge.
Yep.
My great surgical knowledge
Go for it.
that I learned from Grey's Anatomy.
And the
And
scene in Doctor
ER
Strange.
and Doctor Strange. You cannot see into the brain with just your normal eyes.
Sure you can.
You need the little.
If you take off the entire top of his head.
You cannot. Like, okay, there better be a giant magnifying glass laying over the top of him.
That's what I'm just gonna hang a lantern on this and say it is.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Fine.
But it sounds like she says that she thinks it's an astrocytoma,
Mm.
which is unusual if it isn't malignant.
Okay.
And in my super quick and no way scientific wiki search, it says that those wouldn't be malignant because they basically only exist in the brain.
Oh, okay.
So they probably just saw a cool word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it says astro. I would pick
It
it
does.
too.
It does. So on the planet, the fight continues.
Yeah.
In the OR, the fight continues.
Yeah.
But his blood pressure is now dropping.
They
and he's
always need more
hemorrhaging.
suction in a good.
Always
in a
need
good,
suction.
in a good scary surgery. You
Oh,
always
yeah.
need more suction.
And then you have to just hang a new thing of Oneg
yeah.
because you're.
I love
suctioning all
that
the
shot
blood.
of just like a random arm can see, hold blood, and then it leaves again. This disembodied arm.
Here's the question: pretty sure they know what his blood type is, or is it not an Earth blood type?
Oh. Interesting.
If you were Janet and you know SG-1 is
Mhm.
gonna need blood all the fucking time,
She would just have it on.
she
stock.
would have each person's blood specific that
You
they
know
can
what?
take.
I wonder if she has Jonas donate his own blood when he's healthy.
That was the third thing that could possibly happen. You just before each mission, you go donate blood
Yeah.
for yourself that you may
Like
need.
2 hours before, yeah. Donate some blood,
'Cause you
eat
may
some
need it.
orange juice, have some orange juice in a muffin, and then you can go on your mission.
But I guess that's my other weird thing is like he literally him and Teal'c, they've evolved
yep,
on another planet.
They may not have human type of blood.
I'm sure their RH factors
Yeah.
are possibly different.
Yeah.
They have weird shit. Does Oneg blood work? I mean, obviously it does. They give it to them, but
Mhm.
like, would Oneg blood work
I mean,
for an
it's
alien?
truly universal.
It's
Universalier than ever.
But Van Densen's got it because she's awesome.
Yeah.
And I do love that they, again, pretend that Janet's not a master brain surgeon.
Yeah.
So Hammond takes the precaution just to swarm the gate room with a solid wall of armor and guns.
I've never seen it outside of Uncharted, so it makes me really happy.
Even the corridors leading from the gate room are just armor.
It's like, nobody's getting through here.
And so they get SG-15's IDC. They can't raise anyone on radio. But at the same time, if they don't open the iris and it's actually SG-15 and SG-1, they're just going to get killed by the iris. Yep. So Hammond opens it. And we get some drama shots of all the men waiting. And then it's SG-1 and FG-15 that comes through with some wounded men. And Jack wants to immediately head back with SG-3 and 10 for some unfinished business.
I like this slow improvement of effects where we actually see people come through the gate now. And it's not so jarring.
Yeah. And really cool. He's like looking around and he goes, were you expecting something else?
Yeah. But I've missed part of the story.
Sam will explain later.
Yeah.
And I do kind of, again, like that we have enough faith in it that we don't have to see them going and killing Mott and all this.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this happened.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is part of the storyline, but the more important story is right in here.
Exactly. They can easily take care of Mott and his father that are left. It's fine. So later in the infirmary, Jonas is doing good. Giant head bandage. He's reading, it looks like poems.
Yeah, it's like, dude, is that what you want to do when you just got brain surgery? How about, like, just watch some TV?
Watch some TV and eat ice cream or something. So Sam has read the post-op report. The tumor looked like normal brain tissue, but the neurons were 5 times more densely packed.
It's the dark matter version of brain tissue.
Yeah, which does not happen naturally.
Yeah.
So definitely near T. Yeah. But there's no more visions, which is a little sad for Jack. He was hoping for some lotto numbers or a trip to Vegas.
Yeah, he was envisioning the movie Rain Man with him and Jonas, where he gets to be Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, Jack and Jonas sounds like a clothing brand.
It does kind of.
Like, hey, I like those pants. Where did you get those? Oh, they're Jack and Jonas.
So the planet is going good. There's going to be a huge celebration in their honor soon. We're going to bring the food. Janet then comes in because visiting hours are over. Jack tells him to get well soon. They need him out there.
Yeah.
And Sam's the last one to leave. And Jonas is like, is Jack feeling okay?
Yeah, something's weird.
And they're like, we knew he'd warm up to you eventually. And Jonas contemplates the outcome of things.
Yeah.
Because it seems to say that the future isn't predetermined, but at the same time, they did just fulfill an ancient prophecy that someone predicted 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you explain that?
The future isn't predetermined except for when it is, but also your fate is in your hands.
Yes.
And so I did do like a little run for our Patreon. A little bit. So I'm just going to read back the sentence I wrote because I don't know how better to explain it. It's like, when you can see clearly you have the power to create your own future, but further into that, you can see, when you can see so clearly into the future and to what's determined or what should be, you can create your own path, but stay harmonious to the path that the universe wants. So it's like you have this free will, but you also see, hey, you have the will to fight this and do whatever you want, but you can also just not.
I took that in and listened to it and heard Hermione in the middle of it.
That makes me happy. This is where my brain lives. It's just this idea that, you have the will to make your path your own. Yeah. But if you can be enlightened enough to see what the universe is and what it wants, you can see that the path you choose can be harmonious to what it wants.
If you know the candle is lit.
Yeah.
The meal was cooked long ago.
Just call me Oma. AKA call me Oma.
And Sam's like, it was just a lucky guess, and we fade to black.
The end!
The end!
Okay.
Guys, next week, season finale.
Oh, I'm scared.
Full circle.
My tummy hurts.
And we are going to watch Full Circle immediately after this with the leftovers of Nick and I's cake tasting.
I'm gonna stress eat some cake. And yeah.
It's gonna be fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything is gonna be grand.
I like this episode. I think it goes on my thing. I just don't know where.
Okay, let's pull this up. Rankings.
Rankerings.
Looking at my season 6, I really like this one, but I don't think it goes on my top 5.
Which one's Redemptions again?
Oh, don't ask me these
I
hard
know,
questions.
I'm really bad at this.
I know. And like I should know this because I'm that person, but like
yeah,
like episode names sometimes are just like
Changeling is the teal one, and then Descent is the one that I can't remember. Abyss.
Oh, Redemption is the first episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? This ties with Allegiance for me. I haven't had a tie in a while. Allegiance is the one where we get the Rebel Jaffa and the Tok'ra.
I'm sorry, which one?
Allegiance.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is going to tie with Allegiance for right now.
Okay. With prophecy. Descent is the other Jonas Quinn one. With Anubis and yeah, it's like crashing in the Pacific.
Oh, right. Yeah, Descent might leave my list, but I don't know yet.
Okay.
Okay, that's where I am right now.
Cool.
We'll see how we end this season.
Alrighty. Next episode is Full Circle.
We'll see you guys next week. Until then, you can find us on Twitter at Terra Podcast.
You can find us on Facebook at There's No Place Like Terra.
You can email us at There's No Place Like Terra at gmail.com.
And find us on Patreon at patreon.com/There's No Place Like Terra on Patreon.
We love you guys.
Next week, Full Circle.
I'm very scared.
We're prepared.
Let's go.
It's gonna be fine.
Okay.
It's all good.
I trust you.
That's no problem.
Okay, bye.
Okay. We're going over here and we're ending. Bye.